بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الإيمان بين الخوف والرجاء كما قال مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected listeners in Islam, throughout the course of the week, and in fact we should expect that in the future there is one subject that's going to be repeatedly spoken about, the subject of the Interfaith movement. May Allah Ta'ala guide our tongues and guide our hearts, and may Allah Ta'ala protect us from falling into the trap of shaitan by thinking of this real gruesome movement is just to be a trivial matter. Major fires start with a spark. Dams are filled with the first drop of water. And when the sun sets or rises, it is that first rays that pop out from the horizon, or the last ray that goes down the other horizon. A child is born very weak, very frail, very fragile, can't fathom, can't understand. But with time, that small little innocent, helpless infant is strong enough to harness a horse, he is strong enough to drive a 32-wheeler truck, he is intelligent enough to find his way to Mars or to the depths of the oceans, he is strong enough to accumulate wealth and get mansions constructed for him. Everything starts small. The nikah is just with 2-3 words. Do you accept her as your wife for so much, in lieu of so much meher? Yes, it's finished. 2 witnesses are there. 2-3 sentences, not words. But the words actually are, yes, I accept her. So and similarly, just as the nikah, where 2 people are bonded supposedly for life, the destruction of the nikah, it's just with 3 words, talaq, 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 finish. Everything starts small, but the consequences of it are major. Nikah, you can't say, I just accepted you, but I'm not going to buy food for you. Who told you I'm going to look after you? And what do you mean? I must pay the rent. I never accepted anything of that. People say you are a fool, you are unintelligent. People will say you are a fool, you are unintelligent if you do not understand the consequences of an action. The Interfaith movement is not anything new. Remember, whatever is transpiring right in front of our eyes, are such issues that already played out itself in the time of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The faces are different, the names are different, the players are different, the places are different, but the ideology and the battle is the same. I'm going to say something. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide me to speak that which is right. It's amazing how great our deen is. When you look at the current situation and you find Israel and India have become the best of friends. Israel and India have become the best of friends. When you look at the Quran Kareem after Surah Fatiha, which surah comes? Surah Baqarah. Then you think, but Surah Baqarah, what has that got to do with India? Indians worship cows. Surah Baqarah means the cow. So right from the beginning of the Quran Kareem, there is already the different religions starting with Surah Baqarah coming into play, and the Quran Kareem enlightens us how they worship the cow. The Bani Israel worship the cow first. The Bani Israel, under the leadership of Musa Islam, was saved from the tyranny of Fir'aun. They left Egypt. Along the way, Musa Islam appointed his brother Harun Islam to be in charge of the affairs of the Bani Israel. وَوَعَدْنَا مُوسَى 30 لَيْلَةً وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. Musa Islam had an appointed time to meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In his absence, he informed his brother Harun that you are going to be in charge. Ensure that everything is fine. He set off alone, Musa Islam. Amongst the Bani Israel, there was a person by the name of Samiri. He was known as Samiri. It's a title. Some people say his name was also Musa. So, this particular person, when he was very small, his mother hid him in a cave because she feared that Fir'aun was going to kill him. Like Musa Islam's mother placed him in a box and cast the box on the river Nile. Musa Islam was saved. Allah Ta'ala protected this second Musa in the cave also, in that Allah Ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam. From one finger he used to have milk, honey from the other finger, and he was nourished. Being so much in contact with Jibreel alayhi salam, he could sense when Jibreel alayhi salam would be around. There would be certain signs. Amongst the signs was that greenery would grow. And his eyes became amazingly powerful, Samiri. And after Musa Islam left, Samiri collected the jewelry from the ladies of the Bani Israel, and he made a calf, a small cow. He took some of the sand upon which the horse of Jibreel alayhi salam, or Jibreel, where he assumed Jibreel alayhi salam had walked. And that sand had a certain different quality from other sand. He used it when he made the calf. The wind would blow, the calf's mouth would be open, and it would make a certain bellowing type of a sound. And he told the Bani Israel, make such to this is your ilah, this is your Lord. Musa al-Islam fanasi. Musa al-Islam is forgotten that this is the original, where we all start off. When Musa al-Islam went to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala told him, you came here, you see what's happening back there. The Bani Israel, what's the condition of them? They're worshipping a calf. Musa Islam returned very furiously, and the story carries on. I'm not going to go into the details. We are speaking about the Interfaith movement. It is an extremely dangerous movement. It really is still busy. This entire subject, we haven't grasped it. People are busy studying it. We have not even, I would think, come 30%. There are books that have been written. Alhamdulillah, we are researching. What are huge implications of it? The more we read, we say, hey, hold on, man. This entire movement, it appears, and we say this with great confidence, to be the forerunner of the Dajjal's army. You may say, where are we going from Interfaith to the Dajjali movement, to Dajjal himself? But let's look at it logically. Let's apply our reason, and let's apply our intelligence, and look at it in the light of the Quran Karim and the Hadith of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because that's where we find our guidance. You want guidance in as far as law is concerned, you are going to go to a lawyer, you're not going to go to a doctor. You want guidance in as far as your health is concerned, you are not going to go to a lawyer, advocate, senior counsel, you go to your GP rather, never mind, he's just a GP but he'll be able to help me. You require help with planning a design for your house. You are not going to go to an electrician, although he's going to have a little role to play, but it's not going to design your house. It's not going to tell you the strength of a slab. You'll have to go to a different person, an engineer, a qualified engineer. So whatever guidance we require in life, we have got to go to the appropriate source. You can't get guidance from Google alone. You don't know who has posted what article and what his intention was. You can't get guidance alone from somebody who's got no expertise, he's got no experience in both the field of knowledge and as far as how shaitan operates. You can learn the knowledge, but if you don't know how shaitan operates, you will not be able to implement that particular knowledge. The key word is successfully for both in this world and the hereafter. So when we study the Quran Karim and the Hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we know number one, Dajjal is a reality. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself mentioned each and every messenger, prophet, Nabi that came to the world warned his followers about the danger of Dajjal. Now we think, wait, let's just hold on. We just don't want to read and move on. We don't want to finish the book and read the article. We have to stop at every sentence and see what our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is telling us. We don't just, if you want your driver's license, you just read over it. I don't think so. It works like that. There are certain things that you have to memorize. You have to know which road sign is meant for giving you what guidance you are required at that particular time. When you come to the bend, you will see whatever the new speed is that you have to drive. You will see a sign, sharp bend, and you have to behave and accordingly carry on with your journey. Otherwise you're going to be in trouble. Similarly, a hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah Ta'ala elevate our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam stages in the year after, till when no man or jinn or creation ever thought that it could be elevated. He told us, he also, may it be that those who are present pass on my words to those who are going to come. Perhaps the latter will understand it better than those who are present. Because the words of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had such deep meaning, there is no ocean that is deeper than that depth which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, each and single word contained. It was a pearl flowing from the sacred lips of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. emanating from his purified heart, purified with Zamzam water, mind you. What his mind could grasp, we can't, all of humanity cannot come together and fully grasp what he had to say. That's why the ulama always say that قال Allah, قال Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The energy that flows from that قال Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is infinitely more precious than what one can hear from any president, any human being's voice. Nabi Sallallahu said, every Nabi warned, the word is warned, wait, there's danger. To use the word warned because there's danger, what? Against, what's the warning? Against the Dajjal. Warned every Nabi warned his nation about the Dajjal. What is the Dajjal now? Dajjal comes from the word Dajjal yajliju, to deceive. Dajjal, the word Arabic word. And every Nabi, that's something huge. And what is Dajjal? From a great deceptor. Dajjal is the word, like Abdullah. Abd means slave, servant of Allah. The word Dajjal itself denotes deception. It's going to be such a deception that wallah, no one can save us. To the extent there is another hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, every Nabi asked for protection from the Dajjal. So you can imagine, if you want to apply your intellect and say that every prophet, every messenger, take the names. Musa Islam spoke to Allah Ta'ala. Isa Islam was Ruhullah. Ibrahim Islam. But everyone said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min Masih Dajjal. Save me, Allah, save me, protect me. Why? Every Nabi came with a message of Iman. We all know that. Iman, Islam, to revive the previous messenger's message which was forgotten. No nation was in the world. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَرْيَةٍ إِلَّا. There was no nation in the world except أَرْسَلْنَا, we had sent Nadir, warners to them. So we have learned this is something important. We can't wish to trivialize it on the basis of, don't speak about the same thing, we are tired now. We don't want to hear more. Aren't there other more important things to speak about? We can't say, we know enough. We'll never know enough. Because the deception has already commenced. We haven't even understood what has happened, forget what is going to happen. And this deception is clouded, it is flavored, it's got an enchanting message. It is something that will appeal to the human instinct. All religions are on par. All are equal as humans. It will toss forth such magical words that a person will feel comfortable with it and a person will find solace in that message. We don't want any more wars. One humanity, one creation, all the creation of one Lord. They will quote from the Bible, they will quote from the Torah, they will quote from the Quranic Kareem. very, very selectively. Remember the word deception, devious, sly, cunning. They will take only the ayat that speaks about one Lord, one Allah, the great one power. Trying to lure us into a sense that of acceptability. You can accept it. You should accept it. Whilst this is going on, they are already strategizing. You must know it's a long-term plan. Adam al-Islam, where he was and where we are now, Shaitan was active all the time. But it does indeed appear, and may Allah Ta'ala make it, that it not be really so. Anyone can be mistaken. There's no one who's free of errors. But it does indeed appear that the appearance of Dajjal, which has been forecasted from Adam al-Islam's time, it is now imminent. The signs are all there. The stage is being set. The propaganda machine is already hot. It's past the warming up stages now, and it is now being implemented. The entire deen is being slowly uprooted. The assault has begun in earnest. People are already no more as clear as they were before with regards to what a church is all about, or a temple, or the synagogue. Muslims are frequenting already, and you all will have to agree, churches. Scholars are frequently going to the churches. May Allah save us, Allah Ta'ala alone save us. I'm not speaking something abstract, I'm speaking facts. I think it was last week. In Cape Town, the MJC Messiah went to the cathedral. They lit candles. They walked with the priest and with the whoever is there, the bishops, singing hymns. This is a fact. It is a fact. Wake up. I can't scream anymore. I just can plead for myself and for you. They don't understand what is a cross, or they don't want to understand what is the significance of a cross. They don't understand what is the significance of lighting a candle. They're just doing, all of us are one. One. What's the problem? Why? Why are you such an extremist that you see the church to be an evil place? We see nothing there. What's in lighting a candle? Do you know what there is in lighting a candle? Do you know what's a candle all about? Do you know what's a candle all about? It plays a huge role. In Christianity, the candle plays a very huge role. There are different types of candles. There are different occasions for which they are lit. There are different types of candles, not in names only, even as they are manufactured. Some of them, the choices of wax that is sourced from beehives, they are taken, and the candle is made out of respect for that candle, because that candle is going to play a huge role. My respected friends, understand well. You see, we have to study a bit of history, and we have to ensure we do so with an open mind. And when we do this here, inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assist us. They believe Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is nur, the light, they call him the light. Thus what they do, they believe the candle is associated with Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. If you want the light of whom they call Jesus, you must light the candle in the church. And it will attract the Jesus, meaning the light of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. So you're not just lighting a candle, you're not just lighting a candle for the sake of lighting it. They are lighting it in order to get to Isa alayhi, somehow the other link up with Isa alayhi salam. My respected friends, it's not a small thing. At the altar of the church, there's a candle. When you've got a problem, go and light a candle. The shirk of it is manifest. It is open, clear-cut shirk. So we had this Mashaykh going and lighting candles and singing and walking. One has to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Is this really the leaders of the Muslim community in South Africa? Yes. MJC is very famous in Old Cape especially. The government views them to be the spokespersons of the Muslims. But they are involved in such shirk. Yes, they are. Why can't they see it? That is the beauty of Dajjal, and beauty in inverted commas, that they have been deceived to such an extent that they can't sense the shirk that they are involved in. If we are going to embrace this interfaith movement, do you know what? Besides our Iman, we are undermining. We are negating, we are busy in the process of psychologically rebutting and psychologically resisting Imam Mahdi. Look at where it's reaching. Interfaith movement, National Prayer Day, all praying together, all walking together on the roads and marching for the cause of humanity, all on par. The basic fundamental principle of the interfaith movement is that every religion is equal. No one should elevate their religion above another religion. What does the Quran Kareem say? Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَن يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَا يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ. Whosoever adopts any other religion than Islam, it will never ever be accepted. You are contradicting, when you become part of that movement, you are contradicting the Quran Kareem itself. Another ayah, Allah Ta'ala says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. It is Allah who has sent His Rasul with the deen of Haqq, deen al-Haqqi, so that it may overcome all other religions which will now take a secondary position. Islam will be the final religion for humanity until the day of Qiyamah. It overpowers, liyudhhirahu, it is victorious, it overpowers all other religion, kulli. You are saying all religions are equal. Now you may not be saying it with your mouth, but when you join them, the understanding of anyone who is this here, that you are with people, obviously the Jews have this belief, the Christians also, all are equal. You as a Muslim are giving a very clear message that me being with them, I am creating an impression that all are equal. Whether you intend or not, you are in that crowd. If you put a gang of robbers, and they are discussing their robbery, and they are getting the equipment together, Allah forbid, they have the masking tape, and they're going to get into our house, and they've got some hammers with them, and they've got some master keys with them, they've got grinders with them. You are sitting there, you are smiling. Somebody informs the police, you know what, there's a robbery being planned. Where? Go to a certain place, you're going to find him there. Ask yourself, what does your intelligence tell you? When a police raids that particular place, are you going to say, but I'm innocent, I'm a person who do social work. They're going to take you with them. They're going to say, the balance will see, you are here in this, you come with. There's nothing to do about your intention, you come with. That's why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam has advised us again, be careful of who you associate with. The coming of Imam Mahdi is a fact. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had mentioned his coming. Whereas these people go and stand under the cross, amongst the objectives and mission of Imam Mahdi is that the crosses will be broken. That's amongst the mission. So if you are interfaith, you feel this is the right thing. Are you going to tolerate the cross being destroyed? No. You will say, no, you can't. So there's no Imam Mahdi for you. Do you see where we're landing up? There's no Imam Mahdi for you. So what's going to happen to you now? You are going to thereafter be lured into the core belief of the Dajjal. And the core belief is going to be that he is Allah. He's got a power to make rain rain. He's got a power to make the dead become alive. He's got a power to travel at a tremendous speed. And Allah Ta'ala, in order to trial us as human beings, we are here for tests and trials. You get sick, you're going to say, Ya Allah, cure me. You don't have a job, ultimately we turn to Allah, help me. You are in danger, protect me. The Dajjal will be given such power by Allah Ta'ala. Like Shaitan was given certain powers by Allah Ta'ala. He wanted to live until the day of judgment, until the day of Qiyamah. Shaitan asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbi anzirni, give me ila yawmi yub'athun. You want life till? Take it. No problem. But there will be a day of accountability, and there will be a day of regret for him. Similarly, the Dajjal will come and Allah Ta'ala will give him certain powers. He's already born, he's already in a certain island. Some Sahaba had already met him, and he mentioned to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, this is the Dajjal that I'm warning you about. When he makes his emergence eventually, it's going to be obviously in the Middle East. It's not going to be in America, and some people, they give huge, far-fetched interpretation. One person once mentioned to me, you see, the Dajjal is going to cut a person in two and they will join him together. We had East Germany and West Germany. So America is the Dajjal. They brought them together. Now look at where, if you leave things to your own understanding and imagination, where will your mind take you? That you will say East and West Germany and America is the Dajjal, you join them together. No, it's not like that. Dajjal is a human being. He is created. He's got one proper eye, the other one is defective. And he's going to have the powers that I've mentioned to you. What do we do for our protection? It's a very valid question. If we can't, there are many things which inshallah I will continue with next week or so, but for the moment, ask ourselves, if I can't stay away and I can't grasp just basic fact that I must not go in a church, my children mustn't go in a church, I must not ever see an idol with my eyes, may Allah save us. I mustn't even view it. Why? Our Allah is beloved unto us. Would you want your wife to look at someone else with adoration, with eyes of kindness, with eyes of love, or just merely stare? You'll say, no man, I wouldn't like it. If you have shame, you'll say no. If you go to a temple, a church, you're going to see the crosses there. You're going to see the idols there. You may not see it with love and adoration, but you cannot guarantee that now you are sitting there, Allah forbid, Allah forbid, Allah forbid. Now you are standing at that idol, Allah forbid, Allah forbid. You think Shaitan hasn't got any such influence that he can influence you to think about the positivity of Christians, of Christ, of the cross. You think Shaitan doesn't have any power, that he hasn't misled people? I'm going to tell you a story, and a true story, and I sit in the house of Allah on the day of Jummah. Some years ago when I was in Indonesia, after Isha, certain Maulana stood up and said, please, please make dua. There are two young Muslim youngsters, teenagers, barely, it just became teenagers, and they have decided to become Christians. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Can be true. We're speaking about 30 years ago. And after Salah, met him, we decided, let's go to that house. We went to the Muslim's house, we met the parents and whoever, the youngsters, girl and a boy, never came in front of us. We're here to help. We're not here to be, seem to, intrude. It's not a private matter. Muslims are one family. So they say, we don't know what happened to them. Fasting, all this, they used to keep suddenly no fasting, no salah, no Quran Sharif. What actually happened? So they say, really, we can't make sense of this here. But let's call him. Call us two came for about 15 years old, 16, 15 years old. Where do we start a conversation? Such a conversation is not an easy conversation. But anyway, somehow, Bismillah, is there anything that you want to know about Islam? Maybe you've misunderstood this, that. They had a blank look. But ultimately the story came out. They had a Christian friend. They had a Christian friend in school. And they debated about religion with him. And he told him, I will show you the power of Christianity. I will show you the power of Christianity. Sunday you must come to this particular church. There's a person who's coming, he's got healing powers. Healing powers. You will see the magic Christian teachings. How it can cure people. So they went. The church was filled to the brim. There were 2-3 people with wheelchairs, and a fellow came, whoever it is, and he started his whatever, preaching and singing, and he went sort of in a trance, and whoever is unwell here, let them stand up, and he's singing, and he's going now in a mode of ecstasy that it is just like magic flowing, screaming, crying, people whooping up their emotions, taking I say Isa Islam, obviously he's saying Jesus, and he's screaming out and screaming out, and 2, 3 of the people on a wheelchair stood up also. And he told the Muslim there, can you see the miracle of Christ? There it is. Everyone sit down again. Go on. Go on us. You can't dare put your toe, you can't, may Allah save our Iman. I plead first for myself and to Allah, my family and all of you. I plead. Don't even look at the direction of a place of shirk and kufr. If you can avoid that road, avoid it. Because the curse of Allah settles on that places. There's no mercy thereon. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went to fight the battle of to Tabuk, they were passing by the dwellings of the qawm of Thamud and Ad, upon which Allah's divine azab had descended. The punishment is over. They were annihilated. They were smashed to smithereens. Finish. End of the story. Those people were not alive. They were dispatched to Jahannam on their way. Yet what does Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say when they are passing by? Hasten, hasten. For these are the places where Allah's punishment descended. Without informing Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Sahaba at that time were so thirsty, their lips were cracking, their tongues, their throats were parched. And their tongues were swollen with thirst. They had rushed off to get some water. They were hungry, extremely hungry. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam found out about this, he said, whatever dough they had knitted, let him throw it away. This is a place where Allah's curse descended. Let him throw it away. Alhamdulillah, immediately they threw away whatever there was and they hastened away from there. I think, mashallah, you will have a bit of an idea what is all this about. Now there's no time now. But how did the 2, 3 people stand up there in the church? They were paralyzed. There's no time. I don't want to take, I know people have to go and work, etc. I don't want to inconvenience you. Inshallah, we continue with this subject next week. Wa akhiru da'wana. Alhamdulillah. Astaghfirullah. Allah.